me and run away, I was going to make life hell for them. So I turned back around and started driving back towards the hotel because I had a plan in mind. When I returned to the hotel room, she seemed genuinely happy to see me, but I knew the truth now and had to do my best to pretend that everything was normal. I was repulsed by her, but I still acted as though I was fine and told her that the reason that I had been gone for so long without an explanation was because I was planning something for her. And I just freaked out for a bit in the middle of it, so I had to take some time out and calm down. She seemed confused until I went down on one knee and told her that I wasn't freaked out anymore. And that it was the thought of spending the rest of my life with her that really helped me make sense of things, and now, I knew that I was doing the right thing. She was really happy and accepted instantly, which just makes me think about how it's so insane that while she was stabbing me in the back all along, she was still more than happy to get married to me. After that, I told her that I wanted to reconnect with my parents to share this news with them since I'd had enough of our feud. I told her that I didn't want to get married without my family present, and so I thought that it was in all our best interest to just bury the hatchet, just to see how she would react to it. She seemed a little put off by what I said, but recovered within seconds and told me that she believed that it was a great idea and encouraged me to make amends with them as soon as I could. So I texted them right after we got engaged, while she spoke to her family and told them about us. They didn't reply for a day, but on the next day of our getaway, I received a text from my father saying that he was happy that I had chosen to apologize to them and make things right, and that they would love to be a part of my life once again. Once that was done, I started making arrangements for the engagement party right away. I told my girlfriend that I would plan it all myself because I wanted it to be a surprise for her, to make sure that she didn't get in the way of anything. One of my friends is an event planner and I got him involved. I hosted the party at my house and invited everybody that my girlfriend and I knew, including her family and her friends. It was a lot of hard work, but I managed to keep everything a secret from her until the very last moment, and I definitely did take her and my family by surprise. On the day of the party, once all our guests had arrived, I decided to make a speech and toast to our relationship. I thanked her and my family for everything that they did for me at first, and then I went on to the big reveal and told everybody that I knew what they had been up to for the last couple of months. And I made sure to make the speech as humiliating as possible. I called my girlfriend a sellout, and I called my parents even worse names. But I had the best insults reserved for my brother, who I believed was the root cause of all of this. And I told him that even though he had access to all my business ideas now, it was just kind of sad because not even his own parents had any faith in him. And in spite of being the golden child, it really got him nowhere since he still had to rely on me to become successful. All of them were pathetic, and I wanted to make sure that everybody in our lives was aware of it now. The party took place a week after I found out about my girlfriend's little arrangement with my family, so I had sufficient time to set everything up. And also obtained screenshots of my girlfriend's text conversations with my father from her phone, which was easy now that I knew her password, and I just had to sneak into her phone while she was asleep and then delete all the proof. I had booklets made out of those screenshots that I had collected and had them distributed out to each guest individually after the speech, just to prove how spineless and psychotic everybody involved in this was. All our guests were stunned, but nobody was more shocked than my family and my girlfriend. She actually left the room crying and refused to come out until everyone was gone. Everybody pretty much cleared out after the distribution of the booklets, but my family stayed and tried to fight me. I wasn't having any of it, and I told them that if they didn't clear the premises, I would call the cops, and then this would turn uglier than whatever was necessary. So it would be better for them if they left. And then, they went away. They were probably afraid that if this turned even uglier, then it would be hard to save face among their relatives who had heard everything. And this definitely would become the talk of the town in the next couple of days, so they didn't want any more trouble. I didn't hear from my parents after that, but I did have to talk to my girlfriend that very night. She did leave after the party and has moved back in with her parents, but not before she tore into me that night and told me that I was a horrible human being for putting her through that. She told me that the only reason she was doing that was because she needed the money to fund her little sister's education, since she was about to start med school a couple of months after she graduated. Her sister's still in high school, so that checked out. But I asked her why didn't she just ask for the money from me, and she told me that she was too proud to do it, and when my father offered to give her money in exchange for information on my business and other dealings, she didn't think it through and just accepted it. Apparently, my father had told her that he wanted to know about this because he wanted to help me with the business. But since I wouldn't speak to him, he had no other way and had to resort to these tactics. It didn't even occur to her that he might be using all that information to help my brother instead, even though she knew about the problems that we had been having and admitted that she had been very stupid not to think this through. But then she turned it around and told me that while what she had done was horrible, what I did was nothing short of psychotic either. She finally figured out that I'd known about what she was up to right from the day of our proposal itself. And she told me that I should have just broken up with her that day, instead of coming back after driving away just to screw with her and my parents and humiliate them in front of so many people. It was already a given that we were no longer going to be together anymore. But before she left, she told me that she was glad that I'd shown her my true colors because she was about to tell my father that she couldn't spy on me for them anymore and that she was going to call it off after our engagement. And that was the last conversation that we had before she left. Since the night of our engagement party, I haven't spoken to anybody and haven't done anything apart from just going to work and coming back home. I thought that the party and humiliating them would make me feel better about everything. But it really doesn't, and I feel like she did have a point about me coming off worse in this scenario because what I did was actually pretty psychotic and I feel bad about it. So Ida for throwing my girlfriend a party just to humiliate her? Update 1. Hey, guys, so this is going to be a short update. But it's been 2 weeks since my ex and I broke up, and today, she came back to grab a couple of things that she had left behind. We didn't talk to each other at all, and the whole time, she just pretended that I wasn't even there, which was hurtful. But it was well deserved. She did something incredibly insane and gave me trust issues for life, and I humiliated her in front of all her friends and her parents. So I guess it's fine now because we can just call it even. It's still going to hurt for a while, but I don't think I can do anything to help it now. I don't owe her an apology, that's for sure. So thank you for all the help and advice, you guys. I guess it worked because at least I feel better about myself now. And about my parents, they still haven't talked to me and I feel like it's for the best. They already have all my business plans and ideas, which sucks, but there's not really much I can do to help the situation now that the damage is already done. The most that I can hope for is that my brother does the decent thing and doesn't utilize any of it, which seems unlikely because he is human garbage. And also, after the way I humiliated him at my party, I don't think he's going to want to hold back. So things are looking pretty bleak for me right now on the business front, at least, but I hope that I get through it somehow. Update 2. Hi, everybody, it's been almost a month since the last update and I finally embarked on a new business journey today. I know it takes time to set up a new business, but I'm already really excited to finally work and do something that I really enjoy. All the planning and house that I put into this has finally fructified and come to something. And this also means that I have something to take my mind off of my ex. I know that she did me dirty, but that doesn't mean I can't still miss her and the good times that we had. I'm in therapy right now. And I'm trying to work through all the trauma and just process my feelings about everything in general. It's kind of difficult, but now that I have my job to look forward to, I feel like things are going to start looking up for me now. Still no news about my brother or what he is up to, but if I have managed to establish my business before him, then that means that I have a head start and I have to make the most of it. So, my fingers are crossed. Update 3. So, I recently learned that my family is moving away because my brother is going to establish his business in a different state altogether since he doesn't want to be rivals anymore. I heard this right from the source because he told me all about it in a really long email and made sure to mention that he was sorry that I wasn't mentally stable enough to deal with my emotions like any normal, rational adult. And thought that it was okay to throw parties and humiliate people just because I was bad at confrontation and I just wanted to be the center of attention for once, even though I had no qualities that would justify it. But, he wished the best for me and hoped that I would stay away from him and our parents now. It's been almost 3 months since the night of the engagement party and I think I'm finally beginning to deal with it and process everything a lot better than I was back then. So that's great. I also heard that my girlfriend was finally going out on dates with other people now and was out and about like usual. So I guess everybody's moving on and so am I. My business is doing alright and with time, I'll be fine again.